The dust is finally settling over the debt debate, and at least one person thinks he did quite well for himself. In fact, John Boehner is giving himself a pat on the back.
You were unable to get your own caucus behind your bill a few days ago. Do you intend to remain Speaker of the House?
I do. And when you look at this final agreement that we came to with the White House, you know, I got 98% of what I wanted. I'm pretty happy.
Joining me now is MSNBC political analyst Pat Buchanan. Pat, would you agree with Speaker Boehner? Did he get 98% of what he wanted in negotiations?
Well, I do think that Speaker Boehner did entertain the idea of being a participant in a really grand bargain with the president that he did not get. And there's no doubt, Reverend Al, that there were a number of turnovers by Speaker Boehner, but at the end of the game, there's no doubt that John Boehner was a big winner, I think, in this battle, as was Mitch McConnell, as was the Tea Party.
Well, give him a grade. Was it 98%?
I don't know that he got 98% of what he wanted. The Tea Party certainly didn't get that. I'd say he got about 2/3 of what he wanted, but I do agree with the Tea Party when they say, look, this is fairly small gruel we got here when you get right down to the real cuts. And they're dissatisfied, as you've heard, and I understand why. We're a long, long way from a balanced budget.
But look at the poll today that came out where the American public, 60% disapprove of the fact that tax increases are not limited. So not only did they not get all that they wanted, Mr. Buchanan, they've set up a narrative now for the 2012 election where it will be around tax cuts. As you said, the tax cuts will be a prime issue. It will go in front of this commission. This commission may not be able to solve it. It's going to expire anyway. And you end up with finally taxes being front and center in a campaign that most of the American people wish you had allowed it in this. Maybe President Obama was a little smarter politically than some of you thought.
Reverend Al, please don't throw me into that briar patch. Look,
you don't want to separate yourself now, Pat. You were saying
let me tell you
5
something.
minutes
You
ago
mentioned
they
some
got
polls.
2/3. Now you're down to maybe I'm right. I'll be seeing a white towel thrown in a minute.
You mentioned some polls, all right? Mitt Romney has beaten the President of the United States in Pennsylvania now. The President of the United States has fallen in Gallup all the way to 40%, as low as he's ever been. You come up into the fall of 2012, and the President's going to say those Bush tax cuts are going out the window. Let me tell you what's going to happen. The House will pass all of the Bush tax cuts and extend them, and you got your senators fighting for their lives up there trying to raise taxes on everybody that's making more than $200,000 a year. I'll take that fight any day, and let me tell you, your boy, Barack Obama, caved in on it in 2010, and he'll cave in on it again.
My what? My president, Barack Obama? What did you say?
He's your boy in the ring.
No, he's nobody's boy. He's your president, and he's our president, and that's what y'all are going to get through your head. And maybe there was, you know, there was a strategy when I was a younger man. I was never nobody's boy. But when I was a younger man, there was a strategy by a great champion named Muhammad Ali. When you're facing an imbalanced opponent and you can't outpunch him because they got 61 extra votes, you rope-a-dope him. And maybe he's leaning on the ropes and let you guys punch yourself out. Look at the polls, rope-a-dope. You are punching yourself out. The public are sick of you giving the rich cuts while they're unemployed, Pat.
Well, let me tell you, if he gets whipped by Mitch McConnell, how's he going to beat Mitt Romney?
Well, he did. Mitch McConnell did a great knockout. He cut the Pentagon, biggest cut since the 90s. He delayed to 2013. He's put Social Security, Medicaid, Medicare off the table. If Mitch McConnell is your champion, we don't even have to go in the ring for this rematch.
Let me tell you, it's your man who called this a Satan sandwich. It's not my folks. It's your boy, your folks up there in the hill.
But he opened the bread and he made sure.
And weeping and crying.
But he opened up the bread and he made sure that everybody could smell the tainted meat. That's what odor you're smelling, Pat, in the studio.
How did the small group, how did Tea Party guys do this to you, Al? How did you let it happen? You got intimidated, frightened by a threat that wasn't even real.
We couldn't win in the front rounds, so we're on the ropes, and all we needed was the dopes to show up. A little closer. Keep punching, Pat. We can take it.